y'all. Welcome to Sherlock Holmes The Awakened with Anthony.
Howdy.
To give some context, I lost a bet. And if you haven't seen that video, it's in the description down below. So yeah, this is a game from the Sherlock Holmes series, and Anthony has said that he's not going to help me, he's just here to heckle.
Yep, that's my job.
Yep, so let's get started with a new game.
I will warn you at parts where you probably should save, because these old games have problems on occasion.
Thank you, at least give me that much of a help.
Yep, and also there's parts, if you die, you don't get a second chance button, you have to actually start over, so.
Start over or start back at the previous,
Go away, you swine! Leave, or I'll make you bleed!
These all came from the swamps. Could be toting contraband.
Holmes! Help me! Do not fight the calling!
Blood!
blood.
I beg of you, Holmes! Today! Relive
Charlie Hotep?
No, it can't be Charlie Hotep,
No,
Watson!
It can't be. It can't end like this.
Honestly, that kind of the way that
Again, this
thing
nightmare
screamed,
haunts me. It
another
won't let me
language.
forget.
It sounded like Charlie Hotep.
I thought I was going to go to sleep again! Also, I don't know why he doesn't sleep without sheets.
Maybe he was hot.
I don't know. Frogwares presents, many thousands of years ago.
I've seen this before on your stream once.
You saw Arsene Lupin on my stream before, because they use the same
They use the same
engine.
They use the same model for everything too.
Yes.
Just like Half-Life 2, Half-Life Episode 1, and Half-Life Episode 2.
Mm-hmm. These games were made around the same time. It's like 06, I think? Or 07 when these games were made.
I have no idea. You'll have to check for Half-Life.
Right. But right now, it's 2 years ago in London.
More like over
Baycast Street.
More like over 100 years ago now. Because this is the 1800s.
Watson, I see. Oh! I completely forgot about what's coming. We'll talk about it when it gets here. Seeing Watson walking reminded me. Unless they patch this because it's the remastered version, in which case I'll be sad.
Did you know the real John Watson was a determinist and didn't believe in free will?
That sounds like Watson.
Good morning, Holmes. Looks like a typical London day. Fog in the morning, fog in the afternoon. Ha! And here's a surprise. Fog in the evening.
Good morning, Watson.
Can you imagine? I have been at it since 5 a.m., and I scarcely think my list of patients for the day has even been touched. What is more insufferable, I haven't even had a moment with the morning paper.
I ignore
They
you,
say
Watson.
the minister will assuredly... Holmes, whatever is the matter? You haven't heard a word I have said.
It is the tedium, my dear Watson. Life is ordinary. The papers are lifeless. Any hint of audacity, and dare I say, romance has vanished from the criminal world.
Holmes, it is only
so
temporary.
this is where you learn that
You
Holmes
know
would hate
perfectly
world
well
peace.
that sooner or later an exceptional incident will occur in London or thereabout, which cannot rest till the talents of Sherlock Holmes are called into play. Then it will be up to your agile wit to set things right, which should satisfy your constant need for mental gymnastics.
I hope the heavens hear your words, Watson. I hope they do indeed.
I
dare
must
say
take my
he's
leave,
often-
Holmes.
he's kinda
I
like,
have an appointment with a rather odious man,
Sheldon.
Captain Stenick.
Sheldon.
He's apparently in a
got
state
his right haircut.
of near tachycardia due to some problem involving his manservant. Why don't you get out for a brisk walk, Holmes? Perhaps
he's in
buy a newspaper
tachycardia,
or visit that fellow
should hurry, my
Barnes
dear.
over on Glentworth Street. You might remember him, the bookseller. He has some new volumes of the particular sort that should occupy your mind for a time.
You know tachycardia is a heart attack.
I'm now mildly interested.
Yeah, no.
Actually, makes you wonder if Sheldon's related to Sherlock.
I mean, I could see it.
And Watson's Leonard.
They should have.
So it's gonna start you in third-person mode, but if you prefer to play in first-person,
I like
and
third.
it's been a while, mind you, I believe the button to switch is R.
You're right.
Cool.
But
You
I
can play
like
third-person.
But I like to see my character.
Okay.
I
You will
got a
still
book
get
in
to
it?
see your character. You'll still see your character every single time there's a cutscene.
I know, but I like to see it more often. That's why I don't particularly care for first-person shooters that much. I do like Half-Life, but I would love to see Gordon.
Well, this is gonna make one of the later scenes of this game weird. We'll find out when we get there, I guess. It's a ways away from our current date. You can go nag Watson in his room.
No, I can't. He's not here.
Watson, you left.
Yeah, he went off to go check on the man with tachycardia.
You can also go into our room. Or not, just kidding. I'm thinking of Arsene Lupin again. It would appear, a hand would have appeared if he could have.
It would appear that this room does not exist.
Has this game invented hit spacebar to see your active items yet?
Yes.
It has. That's gonna help you a lot, just telling you now.
Can I move with WASD? I guess not.
In first person, you can.
Oh, I might switch to that then.
You're already tired of pointing and clicking? Wow, that was fast. Double clicking should make Holmes run. There you
What
go.
a strange run he has.
06 graphics. The Strand vibes. Right, it's voice acted because I can't hear thanks to this game being old.
Yeah, even Half-Life 1 can be streamed with sound.
Strand, by the Strand.
So, my young friend.
Yeah, well,
what
this is
the news?
Frogwares.
Nothing of interest for the great detective, sir. Those old stuffed shirts ate up
They just
half of
recently
London at their
discovered
big
DLC
scientific
existed.
to-do, and some Scandinavia princess is driving the locals wild with curiosity.
Candace
A
Navia?
Scandinavian royal
Oh.
is in London? If you and the lads can look sharp and find out more about her visit, there will be some coin for your pockets.
Righto, Mr. Holmes. If there's aught to be found, the irregulars will have it. I'll send the words out to the lads.
I would like
It
to
is
point out...
necessary to keep my informants in fighting form.
I would like to... Okay, we're reading the Strand. But before I do, I would like to point out that Helms's face texture kind of reminds me of Dr. Kleiner from Half-Life 2. Just...
You know, it's almost as if I saw this coming.
Strand, the 6th of September, 1894.
I just realized there's gonna be so much freaking reading in this game. You know what? Go ahead. I will just listen.
Celestial phenomenon. Yesterday at the Academy of Scientists, a sumptuous dinner was held for distinguished members of the British scientific community. A central figure was at the festivities was astronomer D. Sullivan. This brilliant scientist shocked the world, colleagues, and even Continental's rival with his discovery of an upcoming and rare celestial alignment of 7 stars. Sullivan has calculated this event will occur in December sometime within the next few weeks. This unique conjunction, as it is called in astronomical terms, will be barely visible to the human eye. Detailed observation will require special optical equipment, which only the Academy has in its... How do I go to
The
next
arrows
page?
at the bottom. You
Possession.
can also scroll.
Even with this equipment, Professor Sullivan noted that conditions must favor a proper viewing of these stars. He took great pleasure in adding that this celestial event will provide an unexpected boon for expert stargazers. The alignment will reveal an 8th star, ordinarily concealed by its neighbors, and whose existence has never been clearly established. The revelation the revelation that Formalhaut, as it is called in ancient texts, might finally be observed, had to be the cause of the audience's excited shouts, unless it was the presentation of dessert at the same moment. Strange disappearance. The recent visits of the Swedish princess Ildur will be remembered as yet another unfortunate event in a series of mishaps related to the scandal-plagued princess. We can only hope that relations between our countries will survive the strain. Among the worst of the incidents was the extraordinary affair with the chocolate alk that which leaders may recall led to the dismissal of the Minister of Foreign Affairs. The British diplomatic corps has been further embarrassed by the recent mysteries of the disappearance of the Scandinavian princess's personal bodyguard. This member of her inner circle visited our fair city during his spare time and never returned from his late-night promenade. The police have the greatest confidence that their inquiry will be successful, as the missing man is a striking representative of the Scandinavian race and should have been noted during the visits with the fair nightingales at the gentlemen's clubs about the towns in Covent Garden. So I'm guessing that he has a mustache, a small beard, and is blonde and blue-eyed. That's the average Scandinavian. Deceased. It is with great sadness that the Northern Lighthouse Board announces the loss of their faithful employee, Matthias Fernston. Due to an unfortunate accident, Mr. Fernston had been the last security guard at the lighthouse for the last 23 years, and his demise came as a shock to all those who knew him. According to tradition, the position will stay within his family, and his nephew Bart, recently returned from India, will take over the responsibilities at the lighthouse. We bid farewell to Matthias and extend sympathies to his family and wish all the best to young Bart. Strange fish. Is that a real person in that photo?
I think so.
It looks like it could be one of the employees at that Frogwares.
It's like, picture me with a fish before the war happened.
Honestly,
nice times.
Those clothes look a bit too modern for the 1800s. I mean, look, the man's wearing a polo.
Is that a Frogwares logo? I'm just curious.
It might be.
I can't tell.
It might be. I can't see it either. But here, future me, zoom in on that for me, please.
Oh, I hope you record this at high enough quality to zoom in without pixelation.
It's as high a quality as I can with this computer, but I zoomed in anyway.
Yeah, because I bet you ran the optimizer when you set up OBS, didn't you?
There's an optimizer?
Yes. It prompts you as soon as you install the software to run it.
I never saw the prompt. Anyway, strange fish. The day before yesterday, a bargeman noted the river watch about a strange jellyfish floating in the Thames. The watch searched the dark waters and their shock spotted appears to be a human scalp. Upon closer inspection, it proved to be a wig, re-dyed in a bright red. According to a label embroidered on the wig's scalp cap, it was the local property of a well-known local theatrical company. God, these are hard to say.
It's the 1800s. What do you expect?
Unfortunately, the company is said to have fallen into a sad state. Its reputation is rapidly dwindling, and its actors allegedly have taken to alcoholic beverages. Let's laugh a bit. A man enters a butcher shop. Hey, you wanted to see this, you will suffer.
There's a reason I ignore pretty much all the writing in these old games, and now I'm remembering why. It takes forever to read. We're never leaving Baker Street.
Let's laugh a bit. A man enters butcher shop. The proprietor, a man of declining years, is cutting away at a joint of beef. The customer is stunned to realize the butcher is missing several fingers on his left hand. The butcher, seeing the shocked look of his customer, says in a shaking voice, I see you looking. I tell you, I always like to put a bit of myself into the work, but with age, I'm a lot less handy. Copyright Jalil Amar Jokes Industry. Dr. Halitosis! The man's halitosis! Licorice Wretched Strong Gum. See what happens when you don't read this? You miss funny things like Dr. Halitosis!
I don't think I would have gotten that when I was playing this game the first time.
Dr. Halitosis Licorice Resin Strong Gum. Does this sound familiar? Your wife has fled with the coachman from the neighborhood. Your 8th canary has just expired and your plants die when you draw near. Yes, these are all familiar signs of malodorant mouth vapors, commonly known as foul breath or halitosis. But what to do to enjoy again the healthy pleasures of the bachelorhood while keeping enough money to play the ponies? Dr. Halitosis patented resident strong gum is your hope for a better life based on the secret formulation of licorice, molasses, and resin delicately extracted from Japanese firs, Slavic Alpetus entero. This natural gum settles on the teeth, keeping the mouth neatly closed, filtering the breath, and keeping a nice aroma. Stop those rude... I'm not reading that word. You'll have a smart smile thanks to Resin Strong. 1 shilling for 3 boxes. Resin Strong, find your smile. And finally, the meat and potatoes of this thing probably daring thefts. From our reporter on the continent, last week, daring burglars struck several prominent hotels and private estates around Paris. The identity of the victims, as well as the identity of those victims, as well as the nature of the stolen jewelry, is a closely guarded secret by local authorities.
Oh, I know what this is. This isn't important.
However, it is common knowledge that the victims were among the elite registry, and the value of the stolen articles is said to be staggering. A servant to one of those hardest hit, whose famous name we shall not mention, lets slip a rather curious detail about these robberies. It seems the thief left a mysterious calling card inscribed with only the initials AL in place of the purloined gems. This is one cheeky brigand to be sure. The Paris authorities are not releasing any additional details, though we will pursue our own sources to get the facts on these remarkable crimes. To be continued. Wasn't there a French relative of Sly that would be in this case?
No, but you are thinking of the famous French thief Arsène Lupin, who this is actually rather clever foreshadowing of Frogwares, because this game came out before Arsène Lupin.
Yeah, so there you go.
They're trying to tell you that that's the next game. Go you.
See what you miss when you don't read everything.
Can we leave the book now?
Yes.
Actually, don't hit escape because I'll take you to the menu. It's right-click, I believe. Yep. I'm glad I remember the controls. And the boy has left us because we were reading for 5 hours. Ah, you switched to WASD.
Because I don't know where I'm going. In fact, am I even going
I have
the right
no
way?
reason to go there.
I said I wasn't going to help you, so.
Well, you can at least help me navigate London.
You have a map.
How do I open the map?
Right-click. Click on map. There you go.
Where am I going? This map is not. This map is not labeled.
We haven't discovered anything worth labeling yet. So explore.
Melcombe Street.
And if you want to test out how saving works, you can hit escape.
We'll do that later, but when it's actually necessary.
Alright.
Okay, fine.
Yes. Now go ahead and back and hit continue. Or whatever you hit to
My
continue.
respects, Miss Fleming.
Good day, Mr. Holmes.
You have teleport to the front of your flower stand. And now we're back here.
Where is the friggin' library? There it is, Barnes.
Hello, Barnes!
It's Barnes and Noble!
The original Barnes & Noble was an annoying man named Barnes. Why are we in there?
I didn't mean to be.
Oh. You can open doors in first-person mode.
I know, but since we're already here, I just want to use that.
Oh, you're gonna be swapping a lot then.
Holmes, how are you? I have some new novels that should interest you. A nice illustrated volume on fish and a collection of legends on piracy. They must
I
be
got
here
these
somewhere.
books, but I don't know where they are.
What can I do for you, Mr. Holmes?
He is worthless right now, actually,
Oh,
so you can
okay.
explore.
I'm fine with swapping in between.
Okay. Yeah, I do that a lot in Arsène Lupin, too, so this is not out of the ordinary. I predominantly also prefer, third person, but I thought maybe you'd prefer first, which is why I pointed it out right away.
A book about sea fauna.
Lane snapper, silver sea trout, red drum, Spanish sardine, perch, red porgy. That's all. Not much of a book.
I guess while we're on this screen, I can tell you what the different things are if you'd like.
Yeah, go ahead.
On the far left, you have items, such as your inventory. You have matches and a knife. Dialogue keeps a record of everything everyone says at all times. So if you actually forgot what we're supposed to be doing, you can go check and see what Watson said. Documents is where all this crap is. Reports we'll be dealing with later, and then you know what the map is.
Yep.
And the question mark does not give you hints. It tells you, you know.
So now we have markings.
Yes, because you discovered bonds. And I don't know if anyone's hoping for a great deduction, but I will not be making any for this.
Aww.
No great deduction for you. You
What?
are flipping a lot.
Because I'm having trouble controlling.
Ah, the pirate's book.
Is it not WASD in this game?
It's not unless you're under first person.
Okay.
who pretended to be the lover of his brother-in-law. We now close this chapter on the cruise of famous pirates with the most terrible of the lot, the dreaded Sharks of Magrinty. Never before has one band of seafaring men been as many abominable and bloody crimes as to their foul credit as Magrinty and his sharks. To fully list their atrocities would likely require a dozen dedicated volumes. Magrinty himself is regarded by experts as a psychopath and deviant. In spite of his indisputable seafaring skills and qualities as a leader, his refusal to give any quarter to those who surrendered is well documented. In particular, his preference for dispatching the unfortunate survivors by either slicing them to ribbons or performing slow evisceration. There is also well-known unnatural attraction to dead men of the cloth, which is supported by numerous witnesses. Clearly a man of profane appetites and a disregard for all humanity. In recent years, his depraved reputation has faded from public awareness, and younger generations know Magrinty primarily from the romantic tales and his infamous lost treasure. Oh, so is it in the Grand Line? And in the interest is well based, as Magrinty's treasure cache is estimated by his Royal Navy registers as one of the richest of its kind. Gold, precious stones, jewelry, works of art, but some of the riches were taken from vanquished ships by this pirate lord and his crew. The biggest mystery is the whereabouts of this fabled booty. No trace has surfaced on these long years, nary a gold or scrap of cloth. History tells us very little about the fate of both the treasure and the sinister captain of his crew. There is one report that hints at the hiding place of Magrinty's lost riches, though it is dubious quality. On November 1801, near the west coast of Scotland, the crew of a fishing boat witnessed a battle between the pirate horde and another ship. Magrinty was the victor and boarded the vanquished ship, which was laden with rum and molasses from the new continent. The fishermen then observed the pirates sailing back into coastal waters. Before being sore afraid, they took to sea as quickly as possible. From that day, there was little word of Magrinty and his sharks. There are outlandish tales of the devil coming to claim his due, taking hold of Magrinty's vessel, the Vampire, and turning it into a ghost ship. Magrinty and his crew were never seen again, but there are those who swear they saw the ghostly vampire ship being captained and crewed by the undead. Other rumors surfaced over time that they are, hard as it seems, even more preposterous and deemed unworthy of mention. The only credible account of Magrinty's hiding place comes from a supposed vampire crewsman taken prisoner during one of Magrinty's last known battles with the Queen's own navy. Unfortunately, Magrinty and his ship and the rest of his men escaped once again and vanished to parts unknown. The captured brigand bartered his skin and promised to tell the captain about Magrinty's hiding place along the Scottish coast. It is the Grand Line! He spoke of the tunnels, secret entries, and of the sea and earth, and the means of gaining entrance into one of them. According to those present, he uttered these particular words: "From the middle of three throwing mouths, 30 steps towards the ram." He refused to say more unless he was granted immediate safe conduct into the nearest port and release. This arrogance cost him his head. No account was given of his last words, which were deemed self-serving lies from a villain desperate to escape his final justice. I know what his last lines were.
Before they hung him from the gallows, these were the final words he said.
My fortune is yours for the taking, but you'll have to find it first. I left everything I own in one piece.
All right, now that reading hour is over, we're going to stand in place.
I will take them.
Thank you, and goodbye, Mr. Holmes.
And I'm not going to pay. What? It didn't look like he paid.
Old game, so they don't animate everything. Not that he paid in the remastered version either.
Let me guess, we're going back home.
Oh, by the way, is there music?
Nope.
Okay, I thought so. So they didn't fix the no music thing.
Holmes! Here!
Wow, it's slow to walk.
We're not walking.
So that's not us?
You have to go over there to watch
I
them.
thought it was a cutscene. I wasn't doing anything.
If you can't see Sherlock, you're not in a
It's
cutscene.
good that I found you, Holmes.
That guy kinda
As
looked
I
like
told
him.
you this morning, I visited Captain Stenick. Although his symptoms are not serious, the circumstances which caused his palpitations are quite peculiar. Perhaps you can make something of it. Here is Captain Stenick and Sergeant Rufus.
Good old Sergeant Ruffles.
That sounds like a dog's name.
Slowly turn. It's old, but
Captain,
there's a
I
charm about
understand
these
from
games.
Watson you are quite upset.
Any man will be the same, and with less provocation. My servant is left in the middle of the night. Damned ungrateful after all I have done for him. To top it off, he knows not one word of English. Finally, if he causes any damage, I will bear the brunt of people's anger and suffer the consequences, as I am the person who brought him to England.
How long was he in your employment, and is he accustomed to vanishing in this manner?
We returned from Australia more than 5 months
Australia?
ago now. But to his credit, he never left this house before now. He is afraid of the city, as are many inhabitants from open spaces.
Could he have stolen something?
Upon my word, no.
How much money does he have on his person?
Frankly speaking, he didn't have any money. I kept his wages for him, and they are in my safe. In any event, what the deuce would he have a need for money?
Who knew that he worked at your home, and had he any contacts here in London?
Anyone who deals with me professionally knows Baopa is my personal servant. As for his contacts, they are limited to the delivery men who bring food or other items to my home. What reason could he have to see anyone other than myself?
Now let's talk to Ruffles. But can I not talk to Ruffles? There we go.
You have to be specific.
Now then, Sergeant, what is it about, and what elements of the crime do you have documented?
Referring to the official report, the following particulars were taken down. A young Maori responding to the name Baopa was reported missing by his employer, Mr. Stenick. No one in the surrounding area saw or heard anything relevant to this incident. In truth, we rarely concern ourselves with cases such as this, but the lad speaks not a single word of English, and according to his employer, has considerable strength. Considering the wild customs of his native land, who knows what damage he could cause? You must know, Mr. Holmes, there have been a few similar cases reported recently. The facts are much the same. Immigrants from the poor districts have been reported missing by their families. We expect that some low-class brothel has opened its doors to the local exotics, and Mr. Holmes, you can imagine how word would spread. Mark my words, with his unique looks and speech, we'll find this boy in no time. I imagine he'll have nothing worse to show than empty pockets and a delighted air.
That is a possibility, to be sure. However, I would be most grateful if you could ask your superiors to send me the reports about those similar cases. I rely on you, Ruffles. Watson, continue your search here. I must follow another lead.
Alright, so we're leaving, apparently.
Turn around.
Turn around?
Oh, damn it. Okay. It's not yet. We'll get to what I wanted to do later yet.
I have no reason to go there.
I'm guessing the Golden Lion. Or not.
Sometimes it did get closer before you're allowed to talk to someone.
Nope, nothing
And
here.
sometimes you don't have to talk to anyone at all. Hello, lady. Hello, man with weird hat.
My respects, Miss Fleming.
Alright, so she's useless too.
Didn't you already walk by?
Well, I figured if she was the only
I was
person.
talking to the other guy.
I have no reason to go there.
I guess I'm going home then. There's no way he'd be at Barnes.
Man, it's a foggy day.
What about here? There's a doggo. Oh, cute little doggo.
The doggo's not important. Neither are the birds on the floor.
Let me guess, I don't have to go anywhere either?
I have no reason to go there.
Guess we'll
I
go.
don't have enough information. I should return and investigate further.
Okay, so I go in the house that... Okay, I guess I'll go in the mansion. You couldn't just say that.
You expect Holmes to be helpful? Dude, this is Sherlock Holmes, not an answer to your dossier. The answers are not going to be given to you.
Oh yeah, MJFK from Clone High, and I am telling you to subscribe to the Geeky Skunk Gamer and his friends, Geo Joe 2000 and Luigi Fan 891.